Creak. With a deafening screech, the doors to the intercontinental train car slowly grind open. A green-tinted figure rides the flow of the crowd into the cabin and quickly strides over to her cramped window seat. I'm on the train. I'll be back once the request is complete. Diane will manage the squad's affairs while I'm away. I would also urge everyone to rationally consider my proposal. After sending that message to the squad's chat group, Zhao Wei puts down her comm terminal and turns her gaze outside the train window. Somewhere, in a place where she cannot see, a gigantic MBV is encamped in the wilderness over 10 kilometers away from the supply station. Just then, metal shutters close over the armored glass windows of the cabin, obscuring everything from view. ... With nothing to look at, Zhao Wei shifts her gaze to look inside the cabin. More and more people file into the cabin, filing up the seats around her. Soon, there is a loud whistling as the fully loaded train lurches into motion, gradually picking up speed as it pulls out of this tiny supply station. And also away from the Elmo. 1 week ago, aboard the Elmo. The Elmo has set off once again after the mission to render emergency assistance to 404. We're heading towards Lavia to keep our promise with Kylina. Ever since we got caught up in this crazy commission, the masterminds hidden within the shadows have gradually come to the fore. As a result, the agreement that has bound me for 10 years has begun to lapse, and the number of dolls who just so happen to return to the Elmo has grown as well. While meeting old friends again is always a joyous occasion, it does lead to somewhat awkward moments at times. For instance, a herd of upshares in a place like this? That does seem to be the case. What should we do about them, Commander? 3 minutes ago, I was chatting idly with the others when I got a report from Mailing. The Elmo encountered a herd of upshares while cruising across the landscape. I reflexively began issuing orders to the dolls around me in order to get us into action quickly and minimize the damage to the MBV's undercarriage. Centurici, Macchiato, guard the forward engine. Monsoon Squad will cover the rear. Diane, Jianyu, and Zhao Wei flank from behind. Pick off any upshears that approach. Jahol. Understood. Hee, time for me to show my stuff. As I finish giving orders, the dolls reply in the affirmative one after another. The sole exception is the doll in green before me, who's stroking her knife as she quirts up an eyebrow. Am I a part of this operation too? I smile sheepishly as I look at her. Well, am I? After realizing what I have done, I look at Zhao Wei and the embarrassed smile fades from my face. During the years since I left Griffin, Diane, Jianyu, and CZ-75, who hadn't arrived in time to meet me, found each other in the contamination zones, started traveling together, and eventually formed a band cum tactical squad, Monsoon Squad. When Diane and Jianyu came to my aid, Zhao Wei, the leader of Monsoon Squad, accompanied them without a complaint. Strictly speaking, however, she and her squad are not part of the Elmo, and as such, I have no authority over her or any right to give her orders. I'm sorry, I started barking orders without realizing it, and I didn't seek your opinion on the matter. Still, this is something of an emergency, so would you mind if I borrow 2 of your members for the time being? Naturally, if you were willing to help out too. I don't mind at all. As the saying goes, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. That said, Monsoon Squad has not conducted many joint operations with other tactical units in the past, so we're not really used to it. Aw, what do you mean you're not used to it? Just stay on the Elmo for a few more days and you'll be right at home. Jianyu walks over with a cheerful smile on her face and pats Zhao Wei on the shoulder. The commander is super trustworthy, you know? When it comes to fighting, just leave everything to him. Right, let's go then. Zhao Wei nods and says no more. She follows Jianyu and the others as they jog down the corridor. As I watch her eye-catching green silhouette shrink into the distance, I shake my head. Rosa hears me and approaches, tactical tablet in hand. Commander, should we hold a welcome party for Monsoon Squad? I just checked and we have some decorations left over in the storeroom. No, let's have the welcome party for later. We still don't know what Monsoon thinks about all this, and CZ75 isn't with them either. It would be very awkward if they ended up declining our offer. In that case, what if we have Monsoon Squad put on a guerrilla performance? They just finished an emergency reinforcement mission, so having them put on a show would be a way for them to relax. You can use this as an opportunity to have a good chat with the rest of Monsoon too. That sounds like it's worth a try. Can you help me make the arrangements, Rosa? Just leave it to me. Oh yes, Commander, there's one more thing. She hands me her tablet. The screen shows a new email from Brief. Investigate unusual Viagra activity? Brief sure knows how to saddle me with more work. Can we not take this one? We barely just scraped together these few days of free time. But Commander, the payout for this commission is the biggest we've recently gotten. And besides, Brief hands out commissions based on a contractor's previous performance. Let me guess, we're in the red again. Most perceptive, Commander. We spent a lot on that operation to assist 404. And now that we have more people on the Elmo, we may have to throw ourselves on Miss Colleen's mercy when we arrive in Livia. Haha, at this rate, it'll be a mercy if we actually make it to Livia in the first place. Take care of this commission too. We'll head out once Monsoon Squad does their show. Understood. 2 days ago, on the Elmo. The lounge is packed with people even though it's close to midnight. Monsoon Squad's first Guerrilla Live has just ended in a resounding success. Ah, Vipli, marvelous, your dancing was magical, Jianyu. I thought Miss Diane's Gujan music was moving too. I preferred Miss Zhao Wei's Suna accompaniment. The solo near the end was quite stirring. Upon hearing people praise them, Jianyu puffs up her chest with a smug look on her face. How's that, Commander? I did well, didn't I? Yes, you did. My hands are actually sore from clapping. Hehe, too bad we couldn't do the complete show because Faye isn't here. If all of Monsoon was here, and we had Faye to play the drums for us, we'd really bring the house down. Isn't that right, big sis? Jiaowei? Jianyu merely grabs Diane with one hand and Jiaowei with the other, placing herself between them. Yes, I do hope Faye will be able to return soon. My dear sister's been rather listless while handling the drums without Faye around to be her sparring partner. Every member of Monsoon truly is indispensable. Diane smiles and swishes Jianyu's cheeks. In contrast, Jiaowei puts the sauna away and silently takes a step away from the group. That would depend on the circumstances. At times, removing an unnecessary cord improves the piece as a whole. What's that supposed to mean? Since when did Big Sis put unnecessary stuff into her work? There aren't any in Monsoon's compositions, but the same does not necessarily apply to others. Jiaowei shoots me a meaningful look. Huh? What do you mean, others? You're just looking for a reason to slack off, aren't you? Big sis, see what she's doing? Sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing. Jianyu pouts in annoyance, but Jiaowei pays her no further heed, merely nodding to me in acknowledgement before leaving the group entirely. She finds a quiet corner and begins looking at her communications terminal. The lounge is warmly lit and full of life, yet this green figure seems to radiate an aura that deters others. Occasionally, curious dolls try to approach her, but in the end they are driven off by Zhao Wei's cold intensity. I should take this opportunity to speak with Zhao Wei. After making up my mind, I began heading toward her. However, right as I do so, Zhao Wei suddenly puts her terminal away and approaches me instead. Commander, are you free? There's something I'd like to discuss with you. Of course. In fact, I was just about to speak to you. Zhao Wei raises an eyebrow in surprise. I'll get right to it then. Commander, I would like to leave the Elmo for a while. Pardon? Please don't get me wrong. This is purely a personal matter. A friend of mine needs my help with a commission, and I think that it's a good chance to consider the future for you, me, and Monsoon Squad. Zhao Wei's words take me completely by surprise. Still, she has a point. This is a good chance for her to take some time and consider the future of Monsoon Squad. By all means, I have no objections to that. Thank you, Commander. That's all I have to say. You said you wanted to speak to me? All the words I had in mind seemed to lose all meaning in the face of Zhao Wei's calm expression. Oh well, perhaps now is not the right time. It's nothing. We can talk about it when you get back. Since you're heading out, you should talk to your teammates about it. After giving up on the idea of having an in-depth conversation with Zhao Wei, I nod to her and leave the lounge. Zhao Wei watches the commander leave, and then she turns her gaze to Jianyu and Diane, who are in the middle of a throng of dolls. Should she interrupt this lively gathering now? Zhao Wei wonders. However, Diane seems to sense Zhao Wei looking at her, and she soon exits the group to approach the ladder. Zhao Wei, what were you talking about with the commander just now? He was just saying hello. Was he? You seem rather subdued tonight for some reason. Are you still not used to this place? I apologize for not being considerate. It was my fault for asking you to come all the way out here with us. There is a worried look on Diane's face, as though she already knows what's weighing on Zhao Wei's heart. However, Zhao Wei dismisses it with a slight shake of her head. You don't have to apologize. We're a team, and it's only natural that we should travel together. Trusting in you was also a collective decision, and Faye would have come too if she were able. Thank you. With that being said, would you like to meet some of my past friends? Miss Rosa mentioned she hoped tonight would have helped you get acquainted with everyone, but it appears to have inconvenienced you instead. Zhao Wei shakes her head again. There's no need for that. We still have a lot of time. We don't have to rush things. After this roundabout refusal, the two of them briefly fall silent. Zhao Wei once again glances towards the center of the lounge, where Jianyu is happily discussing the finer points of her performance with several of the Elmo dolls in the space that was cleared out for their show. She contemplates her words for a moment, and then she speaks again. What do you plan to do after this? Will you stay on the Elmo? What we plan to... Zhao Wei, are you saying you're not going to stay with us? I am simply unsure as to whether remaining here is the right choice. Monsoon Squad ought to be like the wind, should we not? Constantly on the move, constantly setting out on new travels. At the very least, that was what I believed when I first agreed to become leader. Zhao Wei. Hey, big sis, Zhao Wei, what's going on? You both look so serious. Let me in on it too. Upon seeing Diane and Zhao Wei whispering to each other, Jianyu immediately excuses herself and scampers over, inserting herself between the two of them. Jianyu, we are discussing Monsoon's future. Zhao Wei doesn't give Diane the chance to soften the blow. If we remain on the Elmo, then will Monsoon still be Monsoon? I want to know what you and Faye think about all this. Of course we will. Monsoon's the same anywhere we go, right? No, wait. Why are you talking about this all of a sudden? And why did you bring Faye into this? What are you getting at, Zhao Wei? After her outburst, Jianyu glances over at Diane's frowning face. and understanding gradually dawns on her. Oh, wait, are you saying you want to break up Monsoon? Jianyu's sudden exclamation draws a few curious looks from the nearby dolls. Jianyu grabs Jiawei by the shoulders and starts shaking her, not daring to believe her ears. Jiawei remains silent, neither nodding nor shaking her head. But why? We're a team, aren't we? Even if you're the leader, you can't decide to break us up just like that. Yes, Jiawei, even if you're not used to the Elmo. Calm down and listen to me. I didn't say I was going to break up Monsoon. Jiawei calmly raises her terminal and shows it to the two of them. I might be the squad leader, but I have never once felt that Monsoon's fate is mine to decide. I know that the Elmo and the commander have a place in your hearts, just as I know Monsoon has a place in ours. Therefore, what I put forward was merely a suggestion, one that requires Faye's involvement as well. Let me see. Jianyu studies the terminal and finds the latest message in the squad's group chat. I would like you to decide on the future of Monsoon Squad's roster before I finish my commission. Huh? Wait, what commission? Did Monsoon Squad get a new commission? No, not Monsoon Squad, just me. I received a personal request from an old friend just now. Do you remember Amelia? That name sounds familiar. Isn't she that broker friend of yours who saved you and helped fix up your frame? Indeed, she asked me to help bodyguard a friend of hers. I checked the location of the commission and it's located in a nearby city. It's just a few hours away by train. Huh? So you're going to run off by yourself to handle a commission and you're leaving us here to what? Decide whether you're staying or going? Jiawei, do we even need to think about this? Jianyu. Of course you do. Monsoon has never encountered a situation like this before, and I believe that we all need to take some time to think about it. In any case, I've already spoken to the commander about leaving the Elmo for the time being. I see, so that exchange just now was... Did the commander agree to it? Jiawei nods. Alright, I understand. But sis... Jianyu tugs unhappily on Diane's sleeve, but the latter merely nods. It seems she has accepted Jiawei's suggestion. In that case, how much time will we have to decide? Jiawei turns to look at Diane. Her expression seems much more composed in contrast to Diane's worried look and Jianyu's scowling face. Not too long. The commission will be 2 weeks long. I hope that when we meet again, we'll be able to make a decision that none of us will regret. Tap, tap, tap. The crisp sound of footsteps echoes down the alley. Jiawei follows the address displayed on her terminal and turns a corner into yet another run-down alley. The already poor lighting is obscured further by the tall, crumbling walls around her, making the cramped alley appear even more oppressive. Are Ida and the Talalia troop really located here? Jiawei comes to a halt as she eyes her surroundings in suspicion before checking the terminal again. However, the terminal indicates that the blinking icon of her destination is close by. Looks like they are. Still, this commission of Amedia's is really... 2 days ago, on the Elmo. Jiawei's terminal has been vibrating throughout the show. Upon noticing the name blinking on the screen, Jiawei quickly excuses herself and leaves. After finding a quiet corner, Jiawei takes the call. What's the matter, Amelia? Jiawei, you free? Can you help bodyguard a friend of mine? Her theater troupe is going on tour in the Yellow Zones for a couple of weeks, but she has been really unlucky lately and keeps getting harassed by weirdos, so I'm a little worried. I wanted to hire a PMC squad to protect her, but she said the troupe couldn't afford to hire security, and they were worried that the security people would interfere with the performance because they don't know about showbiz. Plus, she said she didn't want me to pay and basically just shot down all my suggestions. So I thought and thought about who I knew that could fight and understood this Steeler stuff, and in the end, only you came to mind. But if she won't accept bodyguards, then how am I supposed to protect her? Hee hee, I've got a brilliant plan. Just say you're a friend of mine and that you want to join the troop as an assistant to gain some performance experience. She's a nice person, and I'm sure she'll say yes if she hears that a friend needs help. I didn't say I was free to take the commission. Hee hee, but you answered me. That means you're definitely open to it. Her name is Ida. This is where she and her troop are staying for the time being. Please help me out. I'll pay you for this. You don't have to. It'll be doing you a favor. After ensuring that the address is correct, Jiawei heads into the depths of the twisted alley. Just then, a scream comes from within. Aye! The panicked shriek seems especially loud in the dark confines of the alley. Jiawei breaks into a sprint as she runs towards the source of the sound, but then she sees a dark shape suddenly burst out of the shadows and dart past her. Help! He took my badge! Stop him! Before the voice finishes speaking, Jiawei has already turned around and is hot on the heels of the robber. The robber clearly doesn't expect Jiawei to catch up so soon and pulls out a knife, swinging it wildly at her. Jiawei nimbly evades the slashing knife and kicks it away before grabbing the robber's arm with lightning speed. With a quick reversal of her grip to take him off his feet, she slams him to the ground and pins him there. Garara! Ow, 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 that hurts. Jiawei ignores the robber's cries of pain and unwinds the cloth from her arm, using it to hog-tie the man. After that, she picks up the bag the robber was holding and heads back into the depths of the alley. There is a boy there who is struggling to get to his feet. A hat lies before him on the dusty alley ground. Jiawei walks up to him and then picks up the hat before stuffing it and the bag into the boy's hands. Here, your things. Ah, yes. The boy is clearly still shocked as he numbly accepts his belongings from her. Jiawei gently pats his shoulder, like she's trying to console him. It's okay, just catch your breath. I'll contact the police. They'll send someone over to take care of this soon. Thank you. After hugging his bag and panting heavily for a bit, the boy finally manages to calm down. He stands up, dusts himself off, and puts his hat back on his head before bowing slightly to Jiawei. Thank you. Thank you very much for your help just now. In stark contrast to his tatty clothes, the boy's voice is clear and compelling. Don't worry about it. It was nothing. Still, why did you come here by yourself? Do you live here? I guess. Sort of. The truth is, I came here to collect inspiration. I'm from an acting troupe. We have a play which we're going to perform while doing a charity tour in the Yellow Zone. But my gut told me that there was room for improvement, so I asked everyone in the troupe to come here to take in the surroundings so we could understand the audience better. See? I look just like a Yellow Zoner, right? Well, you do look like the Yellow Zone residents I've seen before. See? Everyone in the troupe was saying that this outfit was perfect for the female lead to wear while traveling in the Yellow Zone. The female lead? Jiawei scans the boy again. Yep, our play is about two girls becoming friends and adventuring in various parts of the world. No, what I want to ask is, you're a girl? The boy blinks, then reaches up to his hat. She removes it, and a shock of soft combed hair spills out as she laughs merrily. Yep, 100% girl right here. Looks like my immersive style of cultural inspiration was a great success. Immersive style? Mm-hmm. This outfit might look ratty and all, but it's our actual stage costume. I'm wearing this so I can get into character more easily. Still, I didn't expect to get robbed even though I look so destitute. Just my luck, I guess. Although, when you think about it, it's quite common for people in these areas to get robbed too. Maybe I should try and work this part into the script as well. The girl pulls out her terminal and quickly notes it down. The girl's panic from just now seems to fade as she gets more and more into her immersive cultural inspiration. It is only when she finally finishes making her notes that she realizes that there is someone beside her, waiting patiently. Ah, I'm sorry. I ended up getting carried away and babbling nonsense. You must have been bored, right? I mean, thank you very much for what you did just now. I'm an actress from the Taladio troupe. May I know who you... Hello, I am Zhao Wei. Zhao Wei holds out a hand to her, a faint, slightly ridged curve tugging at the corners of her lips. Do you know perhaps Miss Ida of the Talalia troupe? Eh? And that's what happened, manager. What do you think of Miss Jiaowei? Can she join us? She comes highly recommended by that broker friend of mine. After returning to the troupe's temporary quarters, the girl explains Jiaowei's circumstances to the troop manager. The manager gives Jiaowei's CV a once-over and is very pleased by it. I didn't expect you to be a doll with both stage and combat experience, Miss Jiaowei. Is that broker friend of yours who's vouching for her the one who burst into tears while watching our previous show? If I'm not wrong, her name sounded like yours. Something Da? That's her. Yes, her name is Amidia. She might be small, but she's a big figure in the underground broker business. Hee hee. Yes, I remember her. The contamination zones really do breed talented people. The manager looks at Jiaowei. To be honest, we're really hurting for manpower for this tour. Anyone with plenty of experience and who can handle many roles is more than welcome to join us, doll or otherwise. However, this is a charity tour in the contamination zones. We won't be making much in the way of fees, but the troop budget is, well, your salary might be... The manager smiles bitterly. It's alright, I'm here to get experience. Being paid for it is secondary. I'm glad that doesn't bother you. So is that a yes, manager? Of course. Frankly speaking, I need to thank you for joining us on such short notice, Miss Jiaowei. The troop manager looks at Jiaowei and holds out a welcoming hand. Glad to have you with us, Miss Jiaowei. The Talalia troop welcomes you. Beside the manager, Ida laughs and pats Jiaowei on the shoulder. Yep, we'll be traveling buddies going forward, Miss Jiaowei. The Talalia troops convoy pulls slowly into the settlement and comes to a halt amidst loud cheering. The vehicle door opens and the troop dismounts, depositing huge crates on a patch of open ground. The girl at their head gives everyone present a breezy greeting. The wrinkles between Zhao Wei's eyebrows soften a little as she takes in the boisterous crowd outside. She drags a couple of heavy crepes from the cargo bed and follows after the girl. Where are we putting these crates? Just put them beside the advertising billboards for now. Zhao Wei, those crates are kind of heavy, aren't they? You should let the props department move them. That's alright, it's no trouble for me. As she says so, Zhao Wei hoists the crates into a large circular clearing that's ringed by a fence of wooden posts and old rope. She lays the crates in the center of the space reserved for the stage, then bends down to straighten a bunch of simple-looking billboards. Said billboards were made just for this show. Their pitted surfaces are covered in huge eye-catching letters. The Daybreak's Oath. Play is now on tour. As she sees what Zhao Wei is doing, the girl laughs and heads over to help. You're way too nice. While we take you on as an assistant, you end up doubling as an escort and took out all those elids too. That must have been hard. You don't need to take on all these other tasks as well. Not at all. I'm helping myself by doing that too. There aren't many troops out there who welcome doll assistance, and I like more show experience myself. Hee. Aw, don't say that. You know the state our troops in. We're lucky enough to have people wanting to help out. We don't have the right to be picky. Speaking of which, are you trying to build up this experience because of that band of yours? I remember media saying something about monsoon or something. What a nice name. Going wherever you please like the wind. You must have been to a lot of places in the past, right? Zhao Wei's hands freeze mid-movement, but only for a moment. Yes, we've been to many satellite cities. So you get to travel and perform with your friends. I'm so envious. Ida smiles, then sighs quietly. For some reason, there's a hint of sadness in her expression. Miss Ida? Huh? Something wrong? Miss Ida, aren't you traveling with a troupe too? Yeah, everyone here is a friend of mine, but there are times when I wish I had a closer friend around. Well, let's leave that aside for now. I suddenly remember that it's going to be a while before rehearsals, so could you do me a favor, Miss Zhao Wei? What do you need? Ida pulls a copy of the script and her comm terminal from her bag. Well, I heard one of the residences say there was an abandoned town around here, not far from our camp. Could you accompany me there? I'd like to take this opportunity to gather more inspiration about the Yellow Zone. I'm sure the manager and the others will feel better with you around, right, manager? Ida waves to the manager, who's fairly close by. After seeing her sunny smile, the manager has no choice but to wave back. Go ahead, but don't take too long, and stay safe. I'll be fine with Miss Zhao Wei around, don't worry. Let's head out then, Miss Zhao Wei. Our jeep is this way, follow me. Screech. In keeping with Ida's request, Zhao Wei brings the jeep to a halt on the streets of the abandoned town. The moment it stops, Ida practically bursts out of the door and runs over to stand in front of a cluster of ruined buildings. Now these look pretty intact. The walls on the side collapse, and the pipes are all rusted through. Still, they make a good reference. Along with the abandoned cabling here. I should get footage of the cracks on the walls too. Ida holds her terminal up and begins recording her surroundings as she walks forward. What a shame. This town is completely ruined. I wonder why. Elids, collapsed radiation, Viagers, take your pick. Zhao Wei keeps a watchful eye on the surroundings as she walks behind Ida. Still, I can see old signs of a firefight. Perhaps the residences fought Viagers here. I see. Those Viagers really are everywhere, aren't they? Looks like you need to know how to defend yourself when traveling the Yellow Zones. Ida's mood turns morose all of a sudden. However, she soon perks up and begins rattling off questions while filming her surroundings. Miss Zhao Wei, since you travel with your friends all the time, you must have passed through the Yellow Zones quite often, right? Are your friends as awesome as you are? Yes, they're skilled at both fighting and performing. Wow, that's amazing. Then, are they on tour recently? Why didn't they come with you? They... A sudden question about why she has parted ways with her friends catches Jiao Wei off guard, and she lapses into silence. After thinking about her answer for a bit, Jiao Wei is about to speak when she hears a suspicious sound, footsteps on a paved road, and the sound of an unfamiliar male voice speaking. Tiff, didn't you say you saw that woman leave the troop with her friend? Where the hell is she? Search harder. Their jeep's by the side of the road. They can't have gotten far. Before Ida can react, Jiao Wei grabs her hand and ducks behind a nearby wall with her. Jiao Wei looks at Ida in the eye, then shakes her head and speaks in a quiet voice. Shh, we're being followed. What? I don't know who they are, but it seems they're gunning for you. There are 2 of them. Wait, me? Ida's body begins to tremble. Sensing Ida's fear, Jiao Wei gently but firmly presses down on her shoulder. Ida, have you ever seen an upside-down tortoise? Their little legs flailing in the air as they try to get upright? What? Stay here and don't move. I'll show you now. Right as she finishes speaking, Jiao Wei springs out of cover. The green flash, her bullets, and her blade streak through the air toward the 2 men peering into the rubble. They are instantly thrown into disarray and stumble back to the ruined walls, completely off balance. The fuck are you running for? Shoot her. She's just one girl. She's too fast. I can't even... Girl. A green-colored flash interrupts his reply with a kick, and his attempt at striking back is cut off by an emerald knife hand strike. The leading man goes down, and Jiao Wei steps in to fill the gap. Green-tinted knife slices through the air in front of the other man, cutting off his escape and cornering him in an instant. In less time than it takes to draw a breath, the knife's edge presses against the man's throat, and Jiao Wei speaks coldly. Freeze! Using ropes from their jeep, Jiao Wei trusses them up like turkeys and leaves them tied upside down by the roadside. She then dusts off her hands before lightly clapping a hand on Ida's shoulder. See, upside down tortoises. Won't be winning any races with bunnies, that's for sure. The bound men are struggling and appear to be trying to speak, but their gags prevent them from doing so. All they can manage are muffled vocalizations. As Ida watches them squirm in their bounds, the tension finally leaks from her and she laughs. I feel much better now. Thank you, Jiao Wei. You're welcome. Still, who are these people? Why would they go after you? I don't know. Ida bites her lip and shakes her head. Upon seeing that Ida is completely clueless, Jiao Wei walks up and pulls out the gag from one of them. Why are you following Ida? Who sent you? Our employer told us to follow the lead actress of the troupe. We're just doing this because we were paid. We don't know anything. Who hired you? Tiff. It was an anonymous request made through the underground markets. How the hell would we know? Why don't you ask this chick who would have a grudge against her? The man's answer is direct but to the point. Jiao Wei turns to look at Ida. Well, Ida? A grudge against me? Ida clenches her fists and thinks for a bit, but then she shakes her head. I'm sorry, Miss Jiao Wei. I can't think of anyone. Could they be going after the troupe? I mean, I'm their lead actress. ... Jiao Wei falls silent for a moment, then turns back to the bound men, her knife raised. However, just as Jiao Wei is about to bring it to their nets, Ida suddenly steps up and tugs on Jiao Wei. Miss Jiao Wei, please wait. Jiao Wei frowns. Ida tightens her grip around Jiao Wei's arm and shakes her head worriedly. You won't learn anything even if you keep questioning them, right? The show hasn't even started yet, and the troupe will have to stay here for a while. If we end up offending someone now... Alright, I understand. Jiao Wei swipes her knife through the air one more time before returning it to its sheath. The ropes binding the men come apart, and the two upside-down tortoises fall heavily to the ground. Zhao Wei leans against the two men's jeep and icily watches the two men trying to free themselves. I'm letting you go because Ida pleaded for you. Don't let me see you again. Yes, ma'am. The two suspicious-looking men quickly drive away under Zhao Wei's watchful gaze. As she watches them leave, Ida bows to Zhao Wei. I'm sorry, Miss Zhao Wei. I didn't mean to stop you from looking into things just now. No need to apologize. I understand. The troupe doesn't need distractions before the show begins. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So, I have another imposition to make. Ida puts her hands together and bows slightly to Zhao Wei. Could you please not tell the others about this? I don't want the others to worry about me. ... Please? Please, Miss Zhao Wei, please. In the end, Ida's sincere plea triumphs over Zhao Wei. Alright, I'll keep quiet about this. But if anything comes up that disturbs the show, I'll tell the troupe the truth. Yeah, that's fine. It's a deal, then. Thanks, Miss Zhao Wei. Oh yeah, we should head back to our camp. Rehearsal ought to be starting soon, and we've spent enough time out here as it is. Ida hurries over to the jeep parked nearby. Zhao Wei jogs after her, but she casts her eyes into the distance, toward the direction of the men's vehicle. Alright, let's continue this. Hello? Story node. How exciting. Night falls and the troop campsite, which was bustling with activity during the day, has calmed down as everyone retires to their quarters to rest. However, Zhao Wei is quietly opening the door to her quarters. After quickly looking around outside and ensuring everything is normal, she surreptitiously drives away from the campsite. Her jeep races over the wilderness, towards the abandoned towns Zhao Wei and Ida had visited in the day for their cultural inspiration. She parks outside the town, then dismounts before examining her surroundings and the ground. The two of them left from here. Well, yeah, you told them to leave, right? These tire tracks look new, and they match the model of their jeep and the direction they took to leave. That's right, these are the tracks. Ah, Shinago. She follows the somewhat indistant tire tracks, the jeep turning here and there, stopping and starting again. Finally, Zhao Wei comes to a halt outside a secluded valley. Before her are dozens of vehicle tracks, all leading towards the valley's mouth. What's going on here? Zhao Wei parks her jeep in a secluded corner and cautiously approaches the mouth of the valley. She looks for a good vantage point which she can use to peer deeper within. At its floor, she sees several rows of dilapidated houses. Their lights illuminate the valley and the vehicles of various mates driving through it, as well as the people patrolling beside them. Even from afar, their unique style of dress instantly tells Zhao Wei who they are. Viators? Zhao Wei frowns. The Viators are endemic to the Yellow Zone, so finding one of their bases isn't exactly out the ordinary. However, the men she caught earlier today didn't seem like Viators, so what exactly is going on here? Just as Zhao Wei sinks into thought, she hears a sound from nearby. We found it, over here. Zhao Wei quickly ducks behind a pile of rocks and looks at the source of the sound. A pair of figures walk through the night. The one in front appears to be a girl, and the one behind is wearing a huge coat. There seems to be something familiar about them. Zhao Wei ups the output of her visual modules, but just as she's about to study them in more detail, they suddenly turn toward her. Look out! There's someone up ahead! The speaker opens fire, and a bullet kicks up a spray of sand at Zhao Wei's feet. Tisk. Tisk. The girl is already running toward her. Zhao Wei ducks behind a nearby wall. The fact that they have managed to spot her so easily is a clear sign that they aren't ordinary people. And normally, picking a 1-on-2 fight would not be wise. However, if the one in the back is someone important, then taking them out might be a good idea too. Upon making up her mind, Xiao Wei bursts out from behind a pile of rocks and throws her grapple rope out at the coated figure. Look out! The girl immediately turns to cover Xiao Wei's target, but she can't swat the grapple away in time. The coated figure executes a combat roll and evades the thrown spike. However, Xiao Wei has already launched herself forward by now. Commander! Another burst of bullets dodges Xiao Wei's steps, drowning out the girl's words. Xiao Wei invades them with a rapid dash, and her hand tightens around her knife as she leaps forward again. The blade slashes through the fabric of the coat, and the light reflecting from the knife's blade illuminates its wearer's face. Commander? I knew it. Xiao Wei? Bro, it was so obvious. Not really, but... After our little scuffle, I explained the reason why we're here to Xiao Wei. So you're saying that you're here to investigate Viager activity in the region? Indeed. The Elmo recently got commissioned to track down these Viagers. You wouldn't have known because Rosa and I set out a little after you. According to Brief, this particular band has been going all out with the killing, looting, and burning, and a few broker friends of mine have reported losing stock to them as well. They're very familiar with the terrain, and we only just managed to find their base today. But enough about us. What about you, Xiao Wei? I suppose someone as capable as you must think nothing of coming to a Viager stronghold by yourself so late at night. It was merely a coincidence that I ended up here. I didn't expect that the Viagers would have their eye on my client. Seriously? Who is this client of yours anyway? She's an actress. Her troupe just arrived in a settlement yesterday, and they're preparing for a show. I have no idea why the Viagers would go after her. Perhaps it's just a misunderstanding. After all, they're a performing troupe from the Green Zone, so perhaps they appear like plump sheep to these hungry wolves. I see. Still, she only arrived yesterday, and people already have her sights on her. It's quite surprising just how eager the Viagers are about all this. What do you plan to do now, Commander? Are you going to wipe out the stronghold? I'm not in a hurry to do so. My assignment was to conduct a discreet investigation, so in principle, I'm just supposed to remotely observe them. The important thing is to get a feel for their overall situation, so I won't be making contact with them or entering their hideouts unless I have to. And besides, it seems these Viagers have some kind of boss in charge of them. They have more than one base, so sniffing them all out is going to take a while. What a pain. ... Xiao Wei thinks for a while. A moment later, she looks up at me. In that case, I have a proposition, Commander. Go ahead. At first, I thought this was just an ordinary case of someone trying to intimidate my client. But things are clearly not that simple since the situation involves the Viagers. After taking into consideration the troops' safety and the secret investigation you're conducting, would you be willing to join the troop protection mission for the time being and work with me? So the troop serves as both bait and a cover for investigation. It does sound like a win-win situation. Yes, also, if anything happens, the client and the troop will be safer with you and Mr. Rosa around. I don't mind, but the client and troop, on the other hand, I'll speak with them about it. However, the troop's funds are limited, and they probably won't be able to pay you too well. There's no need for that. Ultimately, we're both making use of each other here. And besides, Monsoon has done their fair share of free labor for me too. Are you happy with that, leader Xiao Wei? I chuckle and extend a friendly hand to Xiao Wei. She is silent for a moment, and then she extends her hand to me, one that's covered in stars. That's strange. Since when was Xiao Wei such a miser? Fixing this level of synthetic skin damage shouldn't cost that much. Before I can ask further, Xiao Wei nods to me. Glad to be working with you, Commander. Aw, how sweet. I'm so glad I can say your name properly. I've been saying it so wrong the whole time. I apologize for that. It's, again, I keep repeating myself, but it's just such an annoyance to myself that I keep not knowing how to say names properly. I am really trying. That's kind of why I look up the names rather than just trying to guess it. Though in previous videos I probably have been guessing it and just messing it up completely. Alright, how can we do this? We could do that. Yeah, we can reach over there, I think. We'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, lag. Okay, so, okay, we're not gonna reach... Really? We're not gonna reach over there? Thought maybe... Man, that kind of sucks. I mean, we could do that, or we can do, like... No, we'll go... We'll do this. We'll go ahead, that way we can take out these two things. I think we can have Tolului, take out this guy and then take out the guy up front. Nah, whatever. I will just do this. After returning to the campsite the next day, Jiao Wei introduces me and Rosa to the troop. Just in case, I have a set of credentials ready to prove my identity. However, it seems my concerns were unfounded. Once we reveal that there's a Viagra camp nearby, Jiao Wei has no problems at all convincing the manager to take us on. Since the troop has freed up temporary bunking space for me and Rosa, while Ida has cheerfully taken it upon herself to show us around. Over here, this way please. After leading us to our quarters, Ida quickly shows us around the facilities and briefs Rosa about the troop's activities. In any case, that's our performance schedule. If you guys need anything, feel free to look for me or the manager. Thank you, Miss Ida. You're welcome to look us up any time too. After briefing us, Ida doesn't leave right away. Instead, she ends up gawking at Jiao Wei, who's standing by my side. Jiao Wei notices Ida's gaze and walks over to her. Ida grabs Jiao Wei and pulls her aside before whispering into her ear. Miss Jiao Wei, they seem pretty skilled, but that bounty hunter's... Jiao Wei looks towards me from a distance. He's a reliable friend of mine. There was something fishy about that attack yesterday, so I asked him to come and help out. I see. Alright then. Still, about that attack from yesterday. Don't worry, I didn't tell the manager about it. Ida visibly relaxes, and she bows to Jiao Wei in gratitude. Thank you so much. I don't know how to show it, but I'm really very grateful to you. Think nothing of it. However, for safety's sake, I would recommend you leave the campsite as little as possible. Sure, I won't go far. Ida leaves the room after nodding gratefully to Jiao Wei. After she leaves, I smile and approach Jiao Wei. Well, that's the leader of Monsoon for you. I'm sure Diane and the others must have had a much easier time on their travels with you around. Jiao Wei turns as she hears my voice. Just doing my job as a leader. Something the matter, Commander? Something's bothering me. It seems Miss Ida doesn't understand the true identity of her attackers. That does not seem to concern your mission, Commander. I don't mean to pry, of course. That was just a reminder. Rather than quabble about that, I have a suggestion. This settlement seems quite lively. Would you like to walk around it with me and get a picture of what's happening on the ground? Alright. After leaving the troop campsite, which is still under construction, Xiao Wei and I walked down the streets of the settlement. The roads are covered in sand and gravel. The houses are run down, the people are all poor. Settlements like these are everywhere in the yellow zones. The sole difference is that the one we're staying in is fairly large, which is mostly likely why the troop chose to base themselves here. Still, the livelier a settlement is, the more likely it is to draw the Viager's attention. I turn my eyes outside the settlement as the thought crosses my mind. Piles of rocks and drifts of sand hide the land and the sky in the distance. But I know that there is a lurking threat hidden in that distant valley. Just as I'm about to head outside the settlement, Xiao Wei comes to a halt. Commander. Why did you ask me to go with you? If this is meant to be a secret investigation, there is a chance that the secrecy could be breached. We're working together on this assignment, after all. It's better that we interact and get to know each other. Also, things in the yellow zone can be pretty complicated, and I'm empty-handed right now. I'd feel better with a certain squad leader by my side. According to what I know of you, Commander, dealing with over 10 Viators by yourself, even without a doll squad backing you up, should be child's play for you. Besides, you have Mr. Rosa too. Indeed, which is why this is only part of the reason. The other reason is you, Xiao Wei. The truth is, there was something I wanted to discuss with you on the day Monsoon had their concert. Unfortunately, we didn't get the chance to do so. That day, yes, it was unfortunate that we could not speak. What do you wish to talk about, Commander? Monsoon and the Elmo. I know that you're the leader of Monsoon Squad, and you're not part of the Elmo. It's not easy for a gust of wind that's used to freedom to have to suddenly accept a new environment. I am grateful for the fact that you're willing to stay with the Elmo for the sakes of Diane and the others. They are my friends. Yes, and you are a good leader. That much goes without saying. But even though you're the leader, I can sense that you're changing too. Right now, the way you're talking to me is completely different from when Monsoon first came to help me. We bounty hunters have keen noses, so feel free to talk about anything you want with me. ... Oh, she looks mad. Xiao Wei does not answer. Or perhaps we can discuss it with Monsoon, if you think it would be better that way. It won't take long for them to come here from the Elmo, and there'll be extra hands for the commission. ... Xiao Wei remained silent, her face still blank. According to Jianyu, her facial actuators were damaged in combat, and as a result, she does not show much in the way of facial expressions. But sometimes, this poker face of hers is the perfect camouflage for her feelings. I looked straight at Xiao Wei, silently waiting for her to answer. Just then, I hear the sounds of an argument from a nearby hovel up ahead. It's not like that. Listen to me. Those letters I sent were just... Listen to how you... If not for you, Ferris wouldn't have... No, Ferris, she... Look, just to listen. For some reason, the pleading girl's voice sounds strangely familiar. Xiao Wei and I exchange looks. We nod then take cover nearby. Enough of this bullshit. You think I'm going to buy that goody two-shoes act? You're just... It's all because of you. No, I really didn't. Heh. Know that you're someone like this because of you. Stop pretending already. Get lost. Get out of here. ... I didn't mean to laugh. Sorry, I was just kind of laughing at myself. The argument doesn't last long. Soon, the owner of the nasty voice departs, leaving behind the sound of quiet sobbing. It lasts for a while before gradually tapering off. Then, a familiar figure steps out from behind the wall. It is Ida, the lead actress of the Talalia troupe. She rubs her tears away as she walks. Her clothes are dusty, and her hair is a little mussed, probably from a scuffle just now. Zhao Wei frowns and prepares to stand, but I put a hand on her shoulder and gently shake my head. Don't go right now. It might be a personal matter for Ida. Zhao Wei doesn't answer, but she doesn't move either. It is only when Ida leaves that I loosen my grip and let her rise. As expected, Zhao Wei doesn't go after Ida. Instead, she fixes me with a cold look. Why did you stop me just now, Commander? If this is a personal matter for Ida, butting in rashly would only make things awkward for her. The troop is about to put on their show. It would be better to figure things out and then ask Ida about it later, rather than incur unnecessary trouble. This isn't the first time Ida's encountered something like this. That dispute just now was very intense. If that man keeps bothering Ida, it might end up affecting the show. We still don't know the full picture yet. Barging in thoughtlessly might only end up making things worse. In the contamination zones, there are times when minding your own business is not a bad thing. That's what Ida wants too, isn't it? Zhao Wei frowns. Minding my own business. So this is minding your own business to you, Commander? I see. Zhao Wei's expression doesn't change, but I can hear a hint of disappointment in her voice. However, this is the most sensible choice right now. If Ida objects, then I will not pursue the matter for now, but if it affects the upcoming play, I will not remain silent. In any case, I'll look around the area alone for now. I can handle things here by myself. You should head back to the campsite, Commander. It seems Zhao Wei has made up her mind. I sigh, then turn to leave. We'll discuss it after she settles down. Damn. By the time I return to the troops' campsite, the stage at its center has begun to take shape. A group of people are gathered around it, and Ida seems to be in their midst. As I approach, Doroza turns to me from where she is standing on the edge of the crowd. Commander? What's going on here? Miss Ida is rehearsing. Apparently there was a recent revision to a certain scene. I look at the heart of the crowd. While this is just a scene rehearsal, Ida is completely into it. There's no sign of tears she shed just now. Shortly afterwards, Zhao Wei enters the campsite too. Ida is still performing, so Zhao Wei frowns slightly before standing aside to watch in silence. ... Soon the scene is over, and the audience erupts with thunderous applause. Wow, that was a great change. It's even more moving than the previous version of the scene. Heh, I bet our tour is going to be a great success. Alright, I'm happy that everyone's so confident about our tour, but I'd like to hear from our audience too. Ida steps out of the crowd and beckons to me and Zhao Wei. Hi you two, you saw our rehearsal just now, right? What did you think? It was very compelling. As for the fine details, Zhao Wei, you've got stage experience. Maybe you'd like to field this question? I smiled and glanced at Zhao Wei. She considers her words for a moment, then begins speaking in an earnest voice. I think your performance was very professional. Well, I arrived later and only managed to see a part of it. The girl, Zola, that you played was lively and animated and very likable. Her final promise to her friend was very stirring too. I'm sure it would have won the hearts of the audience even in the green zone. However, the delivery of some of the lines seemed a little unpolished. Further practice might be required. Sounds harsh, but that's high praise coming from Zhao Wei. After hearing her words, Ida scratches her head bashfully. Oh, but that's to be expected. After all, the character was modeled after Ida. She was? It's nothing. Right, I need to go check out my costume with the director. If there's nothing else, let's all go take a break for a bit. Miss Ida? Were you looking for me, Zhao Wei? Upon seeing Zhao Wei hesitate, I cut into their conversation. Zhao Wei, shall we talk about campsite security? Yes. Wow, you guys sure work hard. I'll leave you to it, then. Gotta head over to the director's office. Ida leaves, and I ask Rosa to continue standing watch by the stage. Zhao Wei's face is as blank as ever. Sighing internally, I approach her. What did you find outside the campsite? Thanks to your restraint, I didn't manage to find anyone suspicious. In that case, you shouldn't thoughtlessly question Ida about it either. Commander, are you saying that you believe asking about the matter will be bad for Ida? Or that it will affect your investigation of the Viagers? While I said I was willing to work with you, I was upfront about how the investigation would take priority over protecting the troop. Currently, Ida's situation is not related to the troop, and working with you does not extend to interfering with the actors' personal lives. I do not wish to give rise to unintended consequences by doing so. In the Yellow Zone, supplies are not cheap, and while I don't know how Monsoon operates, for a bounty hunter, minding your own business is an important principle for survival. ... Zhao Wei falls silent, as though she hadn't expected me to state my position that frankly. She frowns slightly, but in the end, she simply fixes me with a calm gaze. Since you've decided to prioritize the investigation, I have a request of my own. I hope that you will not jeopardize the show for the sake of your mission, Commander. Of course, I have my principles too. I'll inform you if I discover anything unusual. I hope you will keep your promise, Commander. Zhao Wei turns and leaves after saying those cold words. As I watch her go, I rub between my eyes in resignation. This misunderstanding is only going to get worse at this rate. Is there a way to soften Zhao Wei's attitude? What would Monsoon Squad do when they have a dispute? Monsoon Squad. An idea springs into my head. I pull out my terminal and find the names Diane and Jianyu. I'm sorry, girls. It seems I'll need your help again. Aw. Oh, sweet. Sweet. Sorry, I got distracted. I don't know why. In the wilderness, a jeep races towards its destination. The doll in the front passenger seat leans against the window, idly rapping on the scratched glass. Big sis, go faster. The commander and Zhao Wei will have walked out on each other by the time we get there. The doll in the driver's seat stomps the gas pedal once again, but the only reply is the low humming of the engine as it strains under its weighty burden. Jianyu, we've been driving at top speed for a long time now. Any faster, and this jalopy will probably come apart before we even reach their campsite. After hearing Diane's reply, Jianyu pouts and curls up in her seat. Fine. Truth is, I just want to see the commander and Zhao Wei ASAP. Hehe. That poker-faced woman crudely dumped us just to take on a mission by herself. I can't wait to see her staring idiotically at us when we show up. Sigh. Jianyu, I know you're still mad about what happened back then, but the commander didn't ask us to come in order to make things worse. You don't want Zhao Wei to truly leave Monsoon, do you? Heck no. Why else would we be rushing like this? Anyway. Okay, fine. Relax, bit sis. I promise I won't get mad at her when we meet later. At most, I'll wait till she gets back to the Elmo before secretly thumping her a little. That's if she comes back at all. If we can't convince her. We still have Faye, don't we? She's on our way too, isn't she? Faye's never gotten along well with others, but even she is willing to come to the Elmo, so there's no reason why Zhao Wei would refuse either. We can't really say. After all, Zhao Wei isn't an ex-Griffin doll. Ah, this is such a pain. Monsoon's still Monsoon, even on the Elmo. And the commander's a really nice guy too. Do we have to choose between Monsoon and the commander? Why is Zhao Wei making things so difficult for us? I love her face. It looks so funny. Indeed, perhaps this problem isn't just for us, but for all of Monsoon too. The interior of the little jeep is silent for a while. Diane frowns as she gazes into the distance, then floors the accelerator once again. Ooh, 5 people this time? Oh, still 4. Never mind. Okay, we can kind of like do a thing here. I'm gonna have both of these up front. Okay, yeah, we can do this. Oh shit, sorry. Yeah, that's what I wanted. We can kind of like save. Well, we can kill all 3 of these guys by ourselves with the 3. Because I want to try to get to that thing over there. That way we don't have to walk. There we go. Nice. It is a fiery afternoon, and the Talalia troops' campsite is as boiling hot as you expect. The troop members hurry back and forth, rushing to set up the stage, rehearse, and prepare props. Xiaowei, Rosa, and I are infected by this industrious mood and find ourselves taking part too. Suddenly, I hear the sound of happy shouting from the distance, amidst the sweltering heat. Commander, Xiaowei. Xiaowei turns and freezes up. Meanwhile, I turn just in time for a gust of crimson wind to slam into me. The impact is so massive that I lose my balance and stumble back. Garora! Look out! Just as I'm about to fall, a hand reaches out just in time to steady my shoulder. At the same time, the girl who just lumped me barely manages to correct her posture and helps Xiaowei to stand me back up. Ooh, sorry, Commander. It was an accident. I'm okay. With my feet back under me at last, I look at the girl before me. Her long twin tails are fluttering in the wind, and the smile on her face is so bright that it makes me feel happier just looking at her. Oh, that's cute. I reflexively reach out to affectionately ruffle her hair. You came fast, almost caused a speeding accident, in fact. Ahem. It's just because I missed you so much and didn't want to be apart from you for a second, Commander. And I guess I missed Xiaowei too. In any case, the moment we got your message, Bitsis and I came here as quickly as we could. Isn't that right, Bitsis? Jianyu laughs and turns to Diane, who only has just arrived. We're not late, are we, Commander? And Xiaowei? There is an apologetic smile on Diane's face as she turns to the green-hued doll. Forgive us for acting hastily and coming here without informing you. You have nothing to apologize for. In the first place, decision-making authority was in your hands while I was away from the squad. Xiaowei remains calm even when confronted by this sudden visit from her teammates. Jianyu seems annoyed by this and gets up in Xiaowei's face. Wait a minute, why isn't your mouth wide open? ... Aren't you the least bit surprised that Bitsis and I are here? I am surprised, but I'm not a tickle-me toad doll that opens its mouth when you squeeze its tummy. Also, my emotive expression modules only support opening my mouth to a limited extent. That's why you're so annoying. Bitsis and I came all this way over, and you aren't even reacting to it. Do you not care at all? That is so funny. Jianyu. I don't know why this is so funny to me. Zhao Wei looks at the fuming Jianyu in the eye and shakes her head. It's not that I don't care, it's just that I guessed why you came. As such, I have no choice but to accept your arrival and introduce you to everyone in the troop. Saying so, Zhao Wei pulls Jianyu and Diane over and smiles faintly to the troop's members who are gathering around them. Ida, manager, everyone. These are Diane and Jianyu, my friends from my band. Like me, they have extensive stage and combat experience. Welcome. Are you the ones who have been traveling and performing everywhere with Miss Zhao Wei? Indeed. They were interested in the troop's upcoming play and insisted on coming by to help. Please feel free to tell us if you need anything over the next few days. We'll be in your care for the time being, everyone. Diane smiles and bows. Upon seeing how Diane is acting, Jianyu's face lights up with a smile too. Yup. Just let me know if you need any help. I can work, fight, and perform. Oh yeah, I can do kung fu, sing, and play the drums too. Wow, really? Miss Jianyu, can I consult you on the finer points of fight scenes? Might end up useful in our play. Hehe, of course. In fact, I can give you a demonstration right now. Empty space. There we go. Come on, this way. Jianyu drags Ida off to the side and proceeds to give her an energetic display of martial arts moves. Diane shakes her head with a smile as she watches Jianyu's antics. She really does go full throttle all the time. Still, there won't be any problems with blending into the troop now. Well played, Commander. I'm impressed. Zhao Wei looks at me, and her smile fades. Please forgive me. I simply did not want to cause any misunderstandings between us. I believe that we'll be able to get along better with Diane and Jianyu around. And as for the future, thank you for your concern, Commander. Oh my god, her face. Zhao Wei interrupts me halfway through my explanation. I will carefully consider the future of Monsoon Squad. She is so scary. But I kinda love it. Alright, during story node. Although there's a slight tension between Zhao Wei and Diane and Jianyu, it doesn't affect the assignment, and the show preparations are proceeding apace. The stage is finally completed by our 4th day in the settlement. The troupe decides to conduct an internal test show that night. The music stops, replaced by enthusiastic applause from the audience. One by one, the cast members take their bows, and the director waves excitedly to the audience from the stage. And that's a wrap. A big thank you to everyone for making this test show of Daybreak's Oath a great success. Following the director's announcements, the cast members gather excitedly into a group hug, as the lead actress, Ida, is naturally in the center of the group. Ida, you were amazing. I didn't expect the changed finale to be so moving, Sniffle. Thank you everyone, but I couldn't have done it without you. Be it the script revisions or in the later performance and joint rehearsals, I'm so grateful to have your support. Ida bows deeply from where she's standing in the middle of the crowd. The director comes over and pats her on the shoulder. Come on, Ida, no need to be modest. We all know just how hard you've worked to make this tour a success. I'm sure Ferris' parents would understand your feelings if they were here. We sent the invitations out long ago, but I guess they won't be coming. Otherwise they wouldn't. Ida sighs quietly and drops the subject. Then she instantly wipes her dejection away like it had never existed and smiles as she grabs Zhao Wei and Jianyu's hands. That's right, director. I've learned lots of interesting things recently while talking to Monsoon Squad. For instance, Jianyu's kung fu moves look really cool on stage. I was thinking that maybe we can work them into our next production. Wow, really? Yep, I still remember that super cool flying kick you showed me. It would be perfect for a fight scene. Also, just as Ida begins to act out a move with Jianyu in tow, a dark shadow falls from the sky. Look out! It's a... oh. Jiao Wei pulls Ida away just as a glass bottle filled with paint hits the spot where Ida was standing just a moment ago. The paint inside it splashes out as the glass shatters into fragments, blooming into a lurid, savage flower. Before Ida can react, a second and a third bottle sail into the campsite, interspersed with a hail of stones and leaving streaks of paint all over the stage. Interspersed with a hail of stones and leaving streaks of paint all over the stage. Hey, someone's causing trouble. Diane, protect the cast and the commander. Jianyu, with me. Jiao Wei's voice remains on the wind as she leaps out of the campsite, landing behind a nearby wall. With lightning speed, Jiao Wei seduces a suspicious man hiding behind the wall without giving him any time to respond. On her end, Jianyu has also grabbed someone outside the campsite. Both of them drag the men to the center of the campsite. Despite being pinned down, they're still struggling and cursing. Who the hell are you? Let me go. Yeah, you're just a crappy group of actors. What right do you have to grab me? Get it through your thick skulls. Stop going around doing shows and get lost now before you mess up more people's families. Shameless and harbor criminals. That lead actress Ida or whatever is a murderer. That makes the rest of you guys accomplices too. Huh? Shut up. Zhao Wei knocks the ranting man out with a knife handshake. After seeing how his friend was KO'd, the other man shrinks away in terror. However, when he sees how Ida is not trying to stop this, and in fact lowers her head in dejection, he starts cursing again. As the verbal abuse grows louder, Zhao Wei scolds and takes out her knife before pressing it to the man's neck with a cold look in her eyes. Hey, let's talk this out. No need to get serious. Alright then, talk. Why are you attacking the troop? We were hired. Our client only gave us money and told us to make trouble and mess up the show. And what's all of this about a murderer? I don't know either. The client just told us to say that. Ah yes, they've got a grudge with your leading lady. He said she... Before he can finish, Zhao Wei knocks him out as well. She glances at Jianyu and Diane, indicating that they should drag the two unconscious men away. Then, she looks at me, who is standing aside in the distance. I instantly get Zhao Wei's meaning, and enter the crowd before giving the director a meaningful look. Miss Ida looks like she needs some rest. Let's end the rehearsal here tonight. Everyone should turn in early. We'll clean up the rest. After seeing the director nod, the rest of the cast and crew obligatingly dispersed. Soon, the only people left in the once bustling campsite are the director, Ida, and the dolls. Zhao Wei helps Ida take a seat and then squeezes her hand. Ida, can you tell us what happened before this? ... Ida's head is still lowered. She remains gloomy and silent. After seeing the state Ida is in, the director shakes her head and sighs. Maybe I should do it. If I'm not wrong, my guess is that the clients who hired these people to attack the theater were the parents of Ida's former friend, Ferris. A former friend? Called Ferris? Yes. Ferris was a good friend of Ida's, and an outstanding young actress. The truth is, she was supposed to be the female lead for Date Breaks Oath. Back then, Ida and Ferris joined the auditions for the part, and they made it through both of them. Ferris was the female lead, and Ida was the second female lead. Ferris and I both loved to act. I still remember the day we met each other. Ida, who has been silent all this time, slowly lifts her head. She looks at the stage, but it seems more like she's gazing into the depths of her past. That day, I joined in impromptu drama competition. I was a rookie back then, and nobody paid any attention to me. But by the time the competition ended, a girl ran over all of a sudden and praised me for doing a good job. She even pointed out all the little details in my act. We ended up talking for a long time. She told me her name was Ferris and that she wanted to become a pro actor, just like me. Ida smiles as she recalls her past with Ferris. After that, we became good friends. At that time, all we had were bit parts, but no matter what roles or scripts we were given, we would always rehearse them together so we could critique and further refine our act. Over time, we slowly became able to play supporting roles, and then we both made it through the auditions for Daybreak's Oath, and began practicing in the Yellow Zone together, looking for cultural inspiration together, going on tour together. Those days were really happy, but Ida stopped speaking, as though she's thought of something, and her smile turns bitter. 2 years ago, when Ferris and I were out in the contamination zones, we were attacked by the Viagers. The PMC assigned to protect us were taken out by the Viagers, and Ferris too. I passed out back then, and was mistaken for dead, but passing bounty hunter saved me. Everyone in the troop was heartbroken over Ferris. We had lost a great actress and a good friend. After that, everyone in the troop was grieving for her, and the lead actress role for Daybreak's Oath sat vacant for a long time. Later on, I remember that Ida and Ferris had acted opposite each other, and had her try out for the position. She did well, so we decided to permanently assign it to her. But I didn't expect that my decision would lead to a misunderstanding by Ferris's parents. They thought that Ida had gotten Ferris killed in order to become the lead actress. Did you not try to contact Ferris's parents? Oh, we tried many times, but Ferris's parents thought the troop was in on it with Ida and kept refusing to talk to us. Ida also tried looking for those Viagers, but they've never been easy to find, and the situation was very chaotic back then. With all that time gone by, we couldn't find any evidence at all. And that's how the misunderstanding lasted all the way until now. Yes, the truth is, Ida's been working really hard to try and erase that misunderstanding. During this tour, Ida convinced me to change the script, and it's ending as a memorial to Ferris. Frankly speaking, we weren't too happy about the change at first, but Ida went all over to gather inspiration and build up experience as a scriptwriter before consulting me about it many times, and in the end, the altered script began to take shape. After we finished rewriting the script, we began preparing for our tour. Right after we finalized the show schedule, Ida sent an invitation to Ferris's parents. And you know how that went. Everyone present goes silent as they look at the glass shards and red paint scattered everywhere. ... Ida, is there anything we can do to help? Stay alert and protect the future shows. That's right. Since they've rejected Ida's goodwill, they definitely won't give up easily. Ida smiles bitterly and bows to everyone again. I'm sorry for causing you trouble. Ensuring the show takes place successfully is part of the request. You don't have to blame yourself for this, Miss Ida. Zhao Wei helps Ida up, and Jianyu comes over to help support her by the shoulders. Yep, nothing's going to happen to the troop with us around. I'll be counting on you all in the future, then. It's getting late, and I also need to take care of the troop business. Oh yes, about those 2 attackers. Leave them to us. Miss Jianyu, could you go easy on them? After all, it was because of me that... Relax, we know our limits. Do you, though? Several minutes later, the 2 hired attackers receive a stern talking to from Jianyu and slink off, vanishing into the night. As I watch them fade away, I can't help but ponder the situation. So they were hired then? No, if they were like the people who tried to ambush Ida earlier, they're probably related to the Viagers too. Before the 2 men can flee into the darkness, I call out to Rosa. Goroza, follow them and see where they're headed. Ah, smart man, smart man. And it's me. I feel like, nah, okay, I was gonna say, that's a little dramatic, don't you think? Trying to, not kill her, but like, throw glass at her and rocks. But, I mean, I guess the kid got killed, so yeah, I kind of... I'm not gonna say I understand where they're coming from. But, yeah, I'm sure losing a child will do enough to... I don't even know why I'm talking. Alright. Bane, 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 Bane. Out in the wilds, a petite doll is racing through a herd of elids. She places shot after shot with deadly precision, driving away the elids that are swarming her. The elid corpses ringing her are piled high like gruesome sandbags. Her gun is starting to heat up, but Faye shows no sign of stopping. Instead, she begins counting the bodies on the ground. 7, 8, 9, 14. Still not enough. Again. Faye scowls, then leaps up the slope of the elid pile. Another elid lunges at her as her gun is moving between targets. Faye whirls and throws her tomahawk, which cleaves deeply into the creature's throat. Yart. I think that's what that says, I have no idea. Another body hits the floor. The impact shatters the collapsed crystals in the corpse, and the fragments land at Faye's feet. Faye quickly bends down to pick up the chunks, wipes off the icky stuff on them, and shoves them into her pockets. That's what you get for trying to ambush me. She looks pretty cool. Soon the gathered elids have all been dealt with. Faye picks up the last collapsed crystal piece and pats her bulging pockets. That should be enough, right? I ought to be able to get a present with these. Or is it? According to the art of human interaction, presenting a gift after meeting an old friend following a long separation is a sign of your sincerity. Eck. So does that mean I should collect more crystals? I still have enough time to kill more of these elids. Plus, the pieces would get worn down in the processing. It would be bad if I don't get enough. Faye looks up and gazes into the distance. A wisp of smoke curls into the air. It seems there's another elid pack up ahead. She mounts up on her motorbike and roars over to the source of the smoke. However, as she approaches the smoke, Faye gradually realizes something is wrong. Wait, those aren't elids. It's Viators. The source of the smoke lies just over 100 meters away, but it isn't being created by the elids. Rather, it comes from weirdly modified Viator vehicles. They seem to have found something, and several converted junkers are pouring fire on a small hill. It's the Viators again. Did they spread all the way over here? Dude, she looks menacing. Faye ups the output of her visual modules and tries to see who the Viator's target is. However, she can only make out several indistinct shapes amidst the roiling cloud of dust. Could it be stranded travelers or residents from a nearby settlement? Who cares? Those Viators are all assholes anyway. I'll just shoot first and ask questions later. I like her already. Faye revs her motorbike and rides into the heart of the dust cloud. Hey, over here. Yeah, she's kind of cool, not gonna lie. Oh yeah, this is light work right here. So she's part of the monsoon squad, if I remember correctly. Which is pretty neat. She looks cool. I'm sure once her character is released, we'll be able to... I'm sure she'll have moves involved with her tomahawk, so that'll be fun. And then we'll just have like... To Faye's surprise, the people surrounded on the hill are actually pretty good fighters and work well with Faye. Soon, the Viator's convoy of modified vehicles is driven off. Faye brings her motorbike to a halt and runs up the hill, waving to the people behind the smoke and dust. You guys alright? We're good. Thanks for your help just now. That surprise attack of yours was most impressive. You're welcome. You guys were pretty good too. Oh, her little smile. Are you bounty hunters? I thought you were local As the people she's addressing emerge from the smoke, Faye's words catch in her throat. You guys... Yo, Faye. Surprised to see us? See, Commander? I told you it was Faye. There's no way I would mistake anyone who lugs an axe around with her all day long for anyone else. It's been a while, CZ75. I mean, Miss Faye. Yes, long time no see, Faye. I smile and walk up to this doll I haven't seen in a long time. 10 years have passed and she's changed her outfit, but her brilliant red hair still burns like a fire, and the spirited look in her eyes hasn't changed a bit. I was looking forward to meeting you again from the moment Diane told me she had contacted you. I thought we'd meet at the campsite, but I didn't expect to run into you here. Can we consider it fate that our reunion took the form of fighting side by side? Faye seems to want to say something, but she spaces out after hearing me speak. Her mouth hangs half open and her face turns red as she struggles to find the right words to say. Aww. Oh my god, she's so cute. Commander, nice to see you again. I got a gift for when we meet again. Or I mean, I was planning to get a gift for you, but I haven't managed to get it yet. But I got the funds ready. She's so cute. Saying so, Faye reaches into her pockets and then freezes up. Aye. Faye exclaims in shock and looks down at her pockets. Unable to believe her eyes, she feels around inside. Her pockets, which had been stuffed to the brim just a short while ago, were grazed by bullets during the firefight just now. All the collapsed crystals she worked so hard to collect have been scattered everywhere, leaving only a few pieces sparkling forlornly in her hand. Ah, how could this? My collapsed crystals. Faye? Faye clenches her fists in frustration, then grabs her head. It looks like she is struggling to keep control of her emotions. After a while, she looks up with a bitter expression on her face. I'm sorry, Commander. It looks like your gift will have to wait. Cheer up. So you dropped all those collapsed crystals you collected. So what? Just pick them all up again. I'll help you. What's important is that you met the Commander again, not some present. Yes, seeing you here is what matters to me. I pat Faye's shoulder and try to console her. Faye has seemed on edge ever since we met. She hasn't said much, but what little she says comes out as nervous stuttering. What happened to her? I remember she was rather hot-tempered in Griffin, but not like this. Maybe I should ask her about it later when I get the chance. Thank you, Commander. I'm happy to be able to see you again, too. Ah, that's right. What are you doing here, Commander? It's a long story. You know about the troop, right? Someone caused trouble there last night, and Durosa followed them to another Viager camp. Jianyu and I came over to help check it out, but not long after we met up, those guys went out for a walk. I see. And after this, you're going to... We'll be heading back to the campsite first. Durosa's got a good picture of the situation here. I believe your teammates are looking forward to meeting you too. That was so cute. Once we return to the settlement, Jianyu practically flies into the troop campsite. Big sis, Jiao Wei, look who I found. Upon hearing Jianyu's voice, Diane looks up from where she's working by the stage. Faye. Diane approaches with quick steps, enfolding Faye and Jianyu into a hug. Jiao Wei walks out of a nearby tent, having heard the commotion. Faye, what are you doing here? Jiao Wei reflectively glances at me, and I raise my hands defensively. It really wasn't me this time. I only just ran into Faye. Jiao Wei then turns to Faye, who walks over and punches Jiao Wei's shoulder. What the hell? So you can go off by yourself and nobody's allowed to follow? ... The previously happy mood in the air suddenly freezes over. Diane sighs before walking over to the pair, taking a green-colored arm in one hand and a red-colored arm in another. There, don't get mad. We should be happy that Monsoon's been reunited after so long. Yeah, that's right. Faye came over to help us out. In fact, she helped us beat up a bunch of Viagers just now. Don't be so stiff, Jiao Wei. Yes, Faye's skills were amazing. Also, do you have anything to say to Monsoon Assembled? What? Alright. Jiao Wei presses the spot between her brows in resignation. I was hoping that this brief period of independent action would be enough to spur you ladies into calmly considering our future. Clearly, that plan has failed. That just means it was the wrong thing to do. It's better just to be frank and speak up rather than having us all stew in our rooms by ourselves, being miserable. Isn't that right, bit sis? Faye? I like her face. For once, I agree with Jianyu. Yes, I agree that face-to-face discussion is the best form of communication for Monsoon. Much like when you play a song, one must be on the scene to properly judge the audience's reaction. Jiao Wei, while this was a private commission, you're still a part of Monsoon. Will you allow us to help you with this commission for the next few days? I mean, your business is Monsoon's business. Yeah, we'll help you out if Amita gives you another job next time. After seeing the sincerity in her teammates' expression, the coldness of Jiao Wei's face seems to have faded. Jiao Wei looks at them in the eye and nods. Alright. How cute. So adorable. It's just better just to continue. I forgot what I messed up on though. Cut this out though. Please just be another. Several days later, inside the troop campsite. Monsoon Squad and Rosa intensified patrols outside the campsite for the following days. Despite the little upset during the test show, the attack we feared never came again, and the troop enjoyed a rare few days of peace. It's a relief that the troop has been otherwise unmolested, but I'm hard-pressed to find a rationale for the Viager's actions. Could it be that the link between the Viagers and the attackers from that night was purely a coincidence? Was it truly just two layabouts with nothing better to do accepting a job from the underground? No, perhaps I need to investigate further. There must have been something behind the scenes that I've missed. Once afternoon rehearsals for the troupe are over, I seek out Jiao Wei. As she listens to my intentions for coming here, she puts down the prop she is checking and looks at me in puzzlement. So you intend to investigate the Viators outside the camp? Right now? Yes, right now. You can tell something's wrong too, right? I turn to look outside the campsite. While things seem peaceful enough in the campsite, the settlement outside is nowhere as warm and welcoming as it was when we first came. In fact, it feels somewhat deserted. Our audience is gone. That's right, the troupe advertised this show heavily, so there ought to be more people here. However, it seems the Viager activity nearby has forced people who were planning to watch the play to abandon their plans. Commander, do you think the change in the Viager's actions is linked to how we stopped the attack on the camp that day? I can't be sure, but we both know the Viagers are mixed up in this. And besides, the Viators have been a scourge on the surrounding region. Yet this settlement and the troop have been completely untouched. It doesn't make sense. I don't think it's because we revealed ourselves, and I don't think anyone would actually pay to invite those starving wolves here. Therefore, I need to head out there on foot to figure out what's going on. Since it's very likely that Ida is involved, I'll need the help of Monsoon Squad too. Understood. I can accompany you, Commander. Ooh, me too, me too. I haven't gone out investigating with you in a long time, Commander. Didn't you just go in the last story node? Jianyu has appeared from seemingly out of nowhere and inserted herself between Jiao Wei and me, followed closely by Diane and Faye, who turned up in front of me. Why didn't you just tell us you needed help, Commander? Yeah, Jiao Wei would have monopolized the scouting mission with the commander if I hadn't secretly followed you. As I see the looks of anticipation in their eyes, I can't help but chuckle. But eventually, I harden my heart and shake my head. The Viators are still roaming around out there, so we need to leave someone behind to protect the campsite. Jiao Wei and Jianyu will follow me. Diane and Faye will stay behind and protect the campsite. Woohoo! Understood. Faye and I will mind the campsite, but please be careful, Commander. As our jeep drives deeper into the wilderness, there is still no trace of the Viators. Jianyu stares out of the bat seat window for a long time, but she can't find anything. Bored, she begins tapping out a rhythm on the vehicle's frame. Jianyu, mind your volume. Okay, fine. I'll stop now. After being reminded by Jiao Wei, Jianyu sticks her tongue out and grumbles under her breath. These Viators are such a pain. There's no sign of them anywhere. It's just a waste of your time, Commander. I can't believe we're spending our precious time off on those Viators. I'm so mad. After complaining, Jianyu drapes herself over the back of my seat. Still, I'm glad I got to go out with you again on a mission, Commander. Feels just like the old days. In fact, I can't help but wonder how nice it would be if the troop could just keep performing. Then Big Sis, Faye, and I could just ignore that crappy agreement and stay with you forever. Right, Commander? The agreement? Actually, Colleen sent me a secret transmission about a month ago when I was assisting 404 regarding new changes in the agreement. While quite a few dolls have already returned to the Elmo through chance encounters, I was planning to maintain the status quo for a while longer to avoid the Elmo becoming a target once again. But after seeing the gloominess and delight on Jianyu's face, and thinking about the pendant that Diane cherished so dearly, I find it hard to keep quiet. Perhaps I can't answer for the world, but at the very least, I can give him an answer. ... Nice, dude. Commander? Actually, you can do that right now. You don't have to worry about that agreement anymore. Eh? Jianyu's jaw drops, and her eyes go wide. I sigh and then smile as gently as I can. Just last month, the Non-Military Forces Administration secretly lifted part of the agreement's restrictions for various reasons. That said, it was done in secret, so I didn't tell everyone because I didn't want to alarm certain people. Also, I'm just a penniless bounty hunter right now, so all I can do is wander the land doing jobs to make ends meet. It's a hard life. I don't care if you're wandering or not. I'm happy as long as I'm with you, Commander. It won't ever be a hardship for me. I'm sure Big Sis and Faye feel the same way too. Oh yeah, we'll go back and tell them the good news. I'm sure they'll be really happy if they know they can follow you again. Really now? I chuckle, then turn to look at Jiao Wei. However, I realize that she's staring intently through the windshield, her face grim. Commander? Viators sighted ahead. Ooh. Jianyu is kind of cute, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of adorable. Problem resolved. Xiaowei, catch up quick. We can wrap things up and share the good news with our sisters sooner. Don't rush. Take care of the enemies first. Humph. Problem resolved. Xiaowei, catch up quick. We can wrap things up and share the good news with our sisters sooner. Don't rush. Take care of the enemies first. Nah, we're rushing. That's what we do. What would be the best course of action here? Probably, I think over here. Tlukai can be better over here. I accidentally took someone out. Who did I take out? I already forgot. Oh. Oh, we can have Diane with us to make it more immersive. Dang. Oh well. Oh yeah, we can do this. Nice. Thanks to Jiao Wei and Jian Yu's combined attack, the ambushing Viators are soon driven off. We wipe out the remaining enemies along the way, but don't see anyone else around us. In order to verify the Viators' tracks, we even pursue them all the way to the Viator camp we found earlier. However, the brightly lit campsite from that night is now completely deserted. It's as though these bandits were tipped off and vanished without a trace after shifting their area of activity. What's going on? Hehe, maybe they got scared by how we've been spanking them over the past few days and ran off. This was an organized withdrawal. Tss. So we've missed them again? Let's head over to the other camp that Rosa found. We soon arrive at the other camp. However, the situation there is the same as before. Hey, where did everyone go? When I came here with Rosa and the commander just a few days ago, there were Viators patrolling around the area. Indeed, if they packed up and left in just a few days, then where did they go? I lean against the window and rub my forehead as I feel a headache coming on. Is there really nothing wrong with those Viators? In the past, exterminating Viators was not a difficult task. However, they seem to have become more cunning over the past 6 months. Their behavior we saw during this request reflects that. They have multiple temporary bases. They actively send out people to take underground market requests, and they can even conduct organized group withdrawals. A vague feeling that there is something wrong about all this churns in my mind. It's almost as though someone is directing these crude bandits from the shadows. Fortunately, I have no clues or proof regarding them at the moment. Aw, don't be so down, Commander. Since they're gone, the troop in the settlement will be safe. You should be happy, Commander. It's good for Ida, yes, but it seems the bounty that the Commander will receive for investigating the Viators is going to be much smaller than expected. You don't hold back at all, do you? Ah, you're right. I'm sorry, Commander. I didn't think about that. Still, there's no need to worry. Now that the agreement's been loosened, Monsoon will help you out with missions as long as we get to stay on the Elmo. In short, you don't have to worry about starving with us around. Is that so? I'm looking forward to that. Hehe, me too. There's all sorts of fun stuff on the Elmo, and lots of old friends. Well, not just the guys from Griffin, but lots of new friends too. We'll be able to make new friends too, right? Jianyu tightens her grip on the steering wheel, and her eyes sparkle as she fantasizes about what the future holds. Jiao Wei says nothing, only listening quietly. Man, I want to. Just. 1, 2, 3. Hold on tight, Commander. I'm putting the pedal to the metal. Sweet. Jianyu mutters about the agreement to herself as she speeds all the way back. Soon, the jeep lurches to a halt. We're at the campsite. Commander, we've arrived. Jianyu eagerly dismounts and runs up to the nearby Diane and Faye. The flurry of wild gesticulation that follows tells me, even without hearing her words, that she's informing them about the agreement. Sure enough, Diane and Faye run up to me a moment later. Commander, is what Jianyu said really true? Is the agreement annulled? I nod. Strictly speaking, it was because the terms have been loosened that, after the previous assistance to 404 concluded, you were allowed to stay on the Elmo. So if you don't mind following me on my wanderings, you can come back to the Elmo and stay with me permanently after this contract is finished. That's wonderful. I've been looking forward to the day when I could officially join the Elmo. To the day when I could return to your side for good, Commander. Diane strokes the pendant on her wrist. Me too. I'll follow you anywhere, Commander. Doesn't matter where you go, Monsoon Squad was always about traveling after all. Alright, since you're willing, I have no reason to refuse you. However, it seems your leader still hasn't chimed in yet. I look towards Jiao Wei. She's been keeping her distance ever since she got down from the vehicle. Jianyu and the others all look expectantly toward her, expecting Jiao Wei to respond with a smile. Diane's expression is colored further with mild concern and worry. As expected, Jiao Wei simply toys with the knife she is holding, her expression as cool and even as ever. We haven't reached the deadline for the suggestion yet, so my answer is still the same as before. So you want me to join the Elmo? I will need to consider it, but I will not stop you. Huh? What's there to consider? The commander's super reliable, you know. You don't need to overthink this, Jiao Wei. You know, I've always been waiting for this to happen. The air turns chilly. Diane steps forward and carefully ventures a question. I never asked before, but is there some reason that you're reluctant to join us, Jiao Wei? ... Jiao Wei doesn't answer. She simply continues rubbing the handle of her knife. Upon seeing Jiao Wei's reaction, I sigh inside. I probably won't be able to get the answer out of her today. After patting the others on the shoulder, I chuckle quietly. Well, if she needs to think about it, then we don't have to press her for an answer today. The troupe will be performing for a while. You can always decide once the contract is done. Yeah. Meshi. So cute. The week-long schedule of shows is slowly winding down. During this time, the Viagers are still active in the wilderness, but they don't harass the troop again. The attack Ida feared does not take place, and the troop's performance receives glowing reviews. On the night before the final performance, the troop's campsite is brightly lit, and the members of the troop are gathered in the heart of the campsite, nervously preparing for their last show. When daybreak comes, I shall go with... Ida, mind your blocking. Sorry about that. Let's do it over. When daybreak comes, I shall go with the wind, onward to a kingdom on the faraway clouds. Ida, your delivery just now was too stiff. I'm sorry, I After the second reminder, Ida stumbles a little as she gets to her feet. Even the most clueless actor would be able to tell that right now. She is not in the right state of mind for a rehearsal. The director sighs and pats Ida on her shoulder. Relax. If you're not feeling well, then go rest up a little. We'll go over the other portions first. Thank you. Ida nods to the director in gratitude and slinks away from the stage. Jiao Wei rises from her seat in the audience and silently follows her. Miss Ida, when humans are bothered by something, do they feel better when they talk to holes in trees? What? Huh? So if there's something bothering you, why not try telling me about it? Oh, I get it. I get what she's saying, I think. If nothing else, my color scheme is about 70% similar to a tree hole. I figure I ought to be able to provide 70% of the functionality of one. Wait, what? I don't understand what she's trying to say. Ida freezes up, then carefully looks at Jiao Wei up and down before bursting into laughter. Miss Jiao Wei, is this how you always comfort your friends? Not always, but right now it seems to be working. Thank you, I do feel a little better now. Upon seeing that the sadness in Ida's eyes has abated a little, Jiao Wei walks over to Ida's side. Are you feeling anxious about tomorrow's show? Yes, I believe Ferris's parents won't give up that easily. It's Ida. I don't know what will happen tomorrow, but as an actor, your sole duty is to deliver your performance. Ensuring that the show is safe is Monsoon Squad's duty. ... Got it. Thank you, Miss Jiao Wei. I'm sorry for subjecting you to that terrible performance just now. No matter what happens tomorrow, I'll perk myself up and properly prepare for it. Ida smiles and nods to Jiao Wei, then turns to head back to the stage. Jiao Wei watches Ida leave, noting the extra spring in her step, and then she returns to the audience seats. After the rehearsal, in a corner of the camp, having confirmed that her various tasks and preparations are complete, Jiao Wei is about to head back to rest when she suddenly feels a weight on her shoulder. ... Hee, ambush successful. Big sis, Faye, come quick. Having managed to grab Jiao Wei's shoulder, Jianyu excitedly waves the others over. Soon Diane and Faye have arrived, flanking Jiao Wei. Wait. Faced with their ambush, Jiao Wei raises her hands in resignation. I don't recall a pre-show celebration on the cards. No, it's not really a celebration. We just have a few questions for you. Faye rubs her head, and her expression turns serious. That is to say, what do you think of the commander? Yeah. We were all in a rush when we came to help the commander out, so you probably didn't have much of a chance to talk to him. But now, it's just us Monsoon Squad and the commander. Plus, you've been with him for so long already. Surely you must have made up your mind about him by now, right? ... The last show is tomorrow. Jiao Wei, no matter what you're planning to do, won't you sit down and talk things through with us before making your final decision? Yeah, I hate how you just up and left the Elmo without saying anything. I'm sorry. I was planning to make my decision after the commission was complete, and I could discuss things with the commander. I didn't think that I would cause so much trouble for everyone. Who says you're troubling us? Jiawei, you're always so decisive and whatever most of the time. Why are you all hesitant now? We've known each other for so long, so you can just tell us if you got anything on your mind. Xiaowei, you can tell us directly if you have any doubts or questions about the Elmo. After all, Monsoon's been through a lot over the past few years, and we face it all together, haven't we? Yeah, in the past, you were always the one to come up with a plan when we ran into trouble. Now you've got trouble, so you should tell us about it. We're a team after all. Thank you. I'll be frank then. It is true. I have some reservations about joining the Elmo. However, they are not related to the Elmo or Monsoon, but rather my past. Jiawei looks down at the scars on her hand. A moment later, she looks up at Diane. I want my choice to be meaningful, so I'm sorry, but I can't give an answer right now. Diane steps forward and gently grasps Jiawei's hand. It's alright, Jiawei. We didn't approach you tonight to ask you to do anything. We just wanted to tell you that you have always been a great leader for all these years. Yeah, you might have it out for me, but you're actually pretty trustworthy as a squad leader. Monsoon might not even be here if it wasn't for your ideas. Yes, I agree. I wouldn't follow orders from just anyone. So we truly hope that we can continue traveling with you. I hope so too. And I will also seriously consider the matter of our future. After noting that Monsoon's squad is almost done talking, I head over and knock lightly on a nearby tent pole. Sorry to interrupt, but I'd like to talk about the campsite's defenses posture for tomorrow. What do you have in mind, Commander? I believe the Viagers have not given up on the big fish that this troop represents. Those 2 attacks on Ida weren't coincidences, merely probes. Jiawei nods in agreement. Yes, they were using them to determine how well the troop was protected. Indeed, while the mental image of disciplined Viagers might sound strange, if they were really planning on making a big haul, they would probably hold back until the tour was over and the troop's temporary guards were gone. I don't want anything to happen to the troop after we leave. Rather than leave those Viagers free to threaten others, I'd rather look for a chance to put an end to the matter once and for all. Was this why you kept sending Mr. Rosa out after the Viagers over the past few days? And here I thought you were going to mind your own business. Come on. It's not like bounty hunters only have collapsed pieces on the mine. And besides, I also want to... Bang, bang, bang. A series of gunshots and explosions outside the campsite interrupts my words and shatters the silence of the night. Run, it's the Viators! The Viators are here! Humph. So they came after all. Ladies, prepare for a fight. And me too, right? Because I fight as well, I guess. Faye was assigned to clear the audience out. Let's eliminate the remaining enemies. Alright, I'm gonna put Diane in just for immersion. She's gonna replace her... We'll just have someone go up there. Should be fine, right? What's that switch for? Oh, okay. I don't know why I'm overthinking this when this is going to be a cakewalk, but I don't know. I just want to, you know? Oh man, I thought maybe... Well, we can do that. We can... Yeah, that'll be fine. And then just kind of do that. Oh wait. Nice. The Viators who attacked the settlement are swiftly beaten back by Monsoon Squad and Durosa's combined efforts. Oh, I could have added Durosa there. However, the campsite was caught in the crossfire, and much of the intricate bat drops and stage is destroyed. Anything even remotely valuable in the bat stage area has vanished. The campsite is in an uproar. The troop manager is frantically shuttling between the stage, the admin tent, and the costume rats, totaling up the losses while Monsoon Squad and I help her out. Just then, an actor runs over. Manager, it's bad. Ida's gone. Huh? Tell me, be clear about it. What happened? The cast was doing a head count just now, and we couldn't find Ida. After that, someone mentioned that they think they saw several Viators going after Ida when the campsite was being attacked. And also, someone was guiding the Viators. I think it was the people who came to cause trouble for us earlier. Wait a minute. Are you saying the troublemakers from earlier were inside men for the Viators? And that Ferris's parents hired the Viators to attack the troop? Jesus, I didn't... What? No, I don't think so. When you consider how Ferris died, there's no way her family would hire the Viators. The underground markets are chaotic and hard to manage. It's more likely that the commission to cause trouble here was coincidentally taken by the Viators. The Viators needed an inside man. That's right. The tour was heavily publicized, so the Viators had probably had their eye on the troop for some time now. The commission put out by Ferris's family gave them the perfect excuse to sneak around the campsite without arousing our suspicion. Would the Viators actually do that? Don't they only know how to wave their guns around? That would normally be the case, but it seems like the Viators have grown a brain over the past few months. Missions involving them have gotten harder and harder to complete as a result. While they're still fairly amateurish in actual combat, their ability to strategize does seem to have evolved a little. Damn it. Then what should we do now? A sudden ringtone from a comm terminal interrupts the manager's words. The manager frowns and pits up. We instantly hear a girl scream from the other side of the connection. It lasts only a second, and then the girl's voice cuts off, replaced by a short-tempered voice. Heard that? Your lead actress is in my hands. Bring her ransom by tomorrow. I'm warning you now. Don't try any fancy shit with me or the chit dies. The call cuts off, and the campsite instantly goes silent. But soon, a cacophony of voices erupts from all around, and panic swallows the entire troop. That was Ida's voice. The Viators kidnapped Ida. Director, manager, well, what should we do? Can we really trust the Viators? What if... Amidst the clamor, the theater manager walks over to me, a look of utter helplessness in her eyes, and tightly squeezes my hand. Please save Ida. We'll try to get the ransom together, but we can't let anything happen to Ida again. Alright, calm down, no matter what. Before I can finish, Zhao Wei has already walked up to us. Commander, allow me to handle the rescue. I've seen enough kidnappings to last me a lifetime. Those scum only know how to bully the weak and torment others. I don't know how people live in the contamination zones, but stepping in when I see injustice being done is how I live. And now that I've seen it happen, there is no way I can turn a blind eye to it. I know that, but please wait a moment. Zhao Wei's eyes narrow as I stop her. Don't get me wrong, Zhao Wei. Calm down and listen to me. I massage the space between my eyes as I take in her guarded attitude and suspicions. Looks like she really misunderstood me. Oh god. Then I shake my head and look her in the eye. Zhao Wei, I feel the same way as you. There is no way I would simply stand aside after seeing something like this. That has nothing to do with being a bounty hunter. That said, stopping you comes from my experience as a bounty hunter. I believe there is a better solution to this matter. We're gonna go in and kill them. Oh my goodness. The way she is looking at me. I can't even maintain I can't even maintain eye contact. Jesus. Inside a darkened corner of the Viator warehouse, I secretly slip a thin razor blade out from between my layers of clothing. I remember the calm look on Zhao Wei's face as she slipped it into my sleeve. I carried this blade with me all this time just for situations like this, when I'm trapped among the enemy. Since you're willing to take the risk, Commander, I'll give you this blade. The blade is sharp, so be careful not to cut your fingers when you retrieve it. I feel for the blade and take advantage of the fact that there's nobody there to cut the ropes binding me. Soon, the ropes fall apart behind me, and I work my shoulders to free myself. As I tuck the little razor blade back into my thick sleeve, it knits my fingertip, and coldness oozes from the point of contact. Eck, it really is sharp. I ignore the pain in my finger and fish out the microcommunicator in my collar before calling Zhao Wei. There is hardly any delay before the call goes through. The plan was successful. I'm inside the Viator's warehouse. So your definition of success is pretending to be defeated and captured so they can throw you into their warehouse while trussed up like a turkey? Hey, it beats mindlessly charging in. This place seems lightly guarded, and their rope work is sloppy. Looks like these Viators aren't very experienced. Oh yeah, your knife was really useful too. As long as you're safe. Have you found Ida yet? Yep, Ida's in another corner. I think she's fainted. I'll go wake her up now. Wait for my signal. How are you and Jianyu? Ready to move in on your signal, Commander. Alright. I hang up and quietly approach the corner where Ida is lying. Ida's face is pale as she lies on the cold ground. Her hands are tied behind her, and her tired body is curled up into a ball. I bend down and start cutting her bonds. Then I pat her shoulder before calling her name. Ida, Ida, wake up. After a while of this, Ida weakly opens her eyes. Upon seeing me, she grabs hold of my sleeve. Her eyes go wide and fill with tears. Please help me. It's them. Zhao Wei, Diane, and Jianyu hide behind a pile of rocks, keeping a watchful eye on the nearby Viator encampment. Sounds of merriment and occasional laugh come from within. It seems they are celebrating their recent victory. Jianyu pouts in annoyance as she crouches behind the rock pile, bored out of her mind. I'm so bored. Why hasn't the commander given the signal yet? Be patient. Eh? Weren't you about to butt heads with the commander yesterday? Why are you willing to listen to him all of a sudden? That was then, this is now. Zhao Wei's eyes do not leave the Viator campsite, even as she delivers her flat reply. Oh, I get it now. You've realized how trustworthy the commander is, haven't you? ... Zhao Wei remains silent, but then a command suddenly comes over the comm channel. Zhao Wei, go. Acknowledged. We've infiltrated the camp and are poised to initiate an attack. What's the situation over there with the boss? Everything is currently going smoothly. Let's begin as planned. Understood. Jianyu, Diane, initiate the attack. What gun does Jianyu use? I kind of know what Diane uses. I don't even know what Zhao Wei uses either. Alright. That should be good. Diane has a really like, you know, yeah, she's like really mobile. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, let's see. Nope, can't really. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I can't really do what I wanted to do. I mean, it's not like I can do anything else. If I do this, it's gonna destroy that, right? Nah, that's fine. Alright, let's... Okay. Actually, no, just stay right there. Because I think... Yeah, we're good. After sending the transmission to Jiaowei, I instruct Ida to hide in a corner. I ensure Ida is well hidden and take cover behind a nearby heap of junk, my gun ready in case we're attacked from the outside. Soon, gunshots fill the air outside the warehouse. The gunfire draws closer. Someone kicks the main door, and a familiar form rushes in. Commander, Ida. We're here. Jiaowei swiftly rushes over to our side, then nods to us. Jianyu and Diane are covering us outside. Come with me. There's a side path we can use to leave their encampment. No, we can't leave now. At least not like this. And what is the reason for that? I took a commission from Ida. Jiaowei raises an eyebrow. Time is tight. I'll cut to the chase. Just now, Ida told me that she recognized these Viagers. Yes, I did. Miss Jiaowei, I seen them before. Ida's eyes suddenly fill with anger as she tightens her grip on Jiaowei's arm, her voice trembling. Last night, when I was brought here, I saw their leader, the Viagers' leader. Their leader, he was wearing a necklace. I remember that necklace was a birthday gift from her family. Ferris cherished it dearly, and she'd wear it everywhere. That's why I'm certain of it. He was the one who led the Viagers that attacked me and Ferris. Correct. And so, Ida made a request of me. She wants me to wipe out these Viagers to avenge Ferris. I accepted. And now, Jiaowei, you have a choice. Are you willing to join me in clearing this nest of Viagers? Of course. It's going to be more dangerous than just escorting Ida out of here. For the first time, there is almost an imperceptible smile on Jiaowei's face. It would be my pleasure. Aww. Trololo. Alright, final one. Let's do it. Oh, battle. Oh, so it's your old scrap metal causing havoc in my camp. Go, everyone get in there. Knock this guy's head off for me. Oh, that's a little much, especially with that hammer. Jiaowei, keep a tight watch on them. Don't let even one of these scrubs escape. Ah, understood. Alright, this is gonna be easy. Klukai over here. And everyone else should be fine. You know what, just for fun, let's kill everyone around them first before we get to the leader. Yeah, Diane is gonna like... Wow, what? She can't reach him. What? I thought she could. That's kind of surprising. I thought she'd be able to. Well, I don't want to do that and she can't move. Well, she can't really do anything. Well, I wasted that. What? Really? Well, I don't want her to get hit, so probably just right here. Should be fine. Oh yeah, just for funsies. Just trying to. I didn't need to do that. Yeah, for funsies, just do this to him as well. Jiao Wei and I coordinate with each other and corner the Viator leader. What should we do now? There are no police stations in the contamination zones. We do it the bounty hunter way. Either you hold your peace forever or you leave no regrets behind. Though, when it comes to scum like that, I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I spared them. True. Oh, damn. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. A single gunshot fills the air, and the bulky man wearing a necklace slumps against the wall. Contract closed. Dang. I didn't think that... I recover the necklace from the man and indicate to Jiao Wei that we should leave. Jiao Wei seems a little pleased with herself right now. Let's go. I turn and head out of the encampment. It's time we return this to Ida. 2 days after the Viators were eliminated. The Talali troops' campsite is abuzz with activity. Tonight, Daybreak's oath will be performed in the settlement for the last time. Night has just fallen, and the temporary seating is packed with audience members who have come here from nearby settlements. As the show progresses, the sounds of applause or sniffling come from the seats, and when the final scene arrives, all eyes are on the girl in the center stage, who is illuminated by the spotlights. I'm sorry, my very best friend. Please forgive me for bidding you farewell. For last night, I received word from the goddess of dawn. She told me that when daybreak comes, I shall go with the wind, onward to a kingdom on the faraway clouds. But my dear, beloved friend, do not be saddened by this parting. For you know that it has always been my wish to become that faint ray of light that illuminates the dark night. As she recites her lines, a twinkle of light blossoms in her hand. She holds up this radiant mote and descends from the stage into the audience seats, until finally she arrives before a man and a woman. And so from now on, so long as you see the sky at dawn, remember that ray of daybreak, and know that I wish you well. Let this necklace be the proof of our pact. No matter where you may be, so long as you need it, it shall become as the daybreak and defend you. And with that, Ida gently lifts her hand and deposits Ferris's necklace into the couple's hands. Then Ida bows deeply to the two of them. I am so sorry. Jiao Wei and I watched the end of the show from an unintrusive corner of the audience. After seeing Ida finally embrace Ferris's parents, even Jiao Wei's cool expression seems to have softened a little. A good ending, don't you think? It is good that the misunderstanding could be resolved, and it was also good that you were willing to testify about the evil deeds of the Viators. Otherwise, Ferris's parents would have found the tale hard to believe. So does that mean our misunderstanding has also been resolved? Can you tell me about your reluctance to join us? Dot dot dot. Jiao Wei is silent for a while, and then she nods. Before joining Monsoon Squad, I was used to traveling alone and dealing with any dangers I encountered by myself. But after becoming part of Monsoon Squad, Diane, Jianyu, and Faye became my friends. We traveled together with the same wish in our hearts, just like Ida and Ferris. I once thought Monsoon would keep traveling like this forever. While everyone kept talking about finding their commander, they were still limited by that agreement. So I believed that the day when they would do so was still far off. Thus, I did not think much about what would happen once the agreement ended, or what I would do. So when I realized that there really was a chance for them to go to the Elmo, I hesitated. If everyone else in the band chose to return to the Elmo, then what about me? Jiao Wei pauses for a moment. She runs her fingers over her knife, and then she looks at me. The members of Monsoon often told me about you and your shared past. So before I make my decision, I would like to know, what made you walk this path of self-exile? To my knowledge, you were not compelled to become a wandering bounty hunter. Oh, me? I look up at the sky. Too many scenes from the past flash before my eyes. What exactly was it that made me choose my present course? I think of the flames from that explosion, and that one-sided farewell. In order to give all of that some sort of meaning, I finally chose to sign the agreement, much as I loathed its terms and the fact that I had done so. As my emotions fly in disarray, I shake my head, and my gaze settles on the nearby stage. Perhaps it was for these people, Ferris, Ida, and the audience members watching the play, just like you. Perhaps I could have chosen a better paying way of life, but if I had, I would always be taking and carrying out orders. By boarding the Elmo, perhaps I could follow my heart and help the people who needed saving. But then again, maybe I just did it for myself. So, I'm sorry, I cannot answer your question, because I still haven't accomplished anything yet. Is that what you wanted to hear, Jiao Wei? Dot dot dot. Jiao Wei remains silent, and the night shrouds that poker face of hers. She looks down at the stars on her hand, and there is a vague sense of confusion in her eyes. Once, I simply did as I was told, never questioning the rightness of my actions or the lack thereof. After that, I learned that I could choose for myself. And so, you chose Monsoon. Not just Monsoon. When I joined Monsoon, I also chose the future I wanted. So what kind of future will you choose now? Jiao Wei looks up. She stares into my eyes, and the confusion from before is now gone. Commander, I am not like Diane and the others. I have not experienced the days of fighting by your side in Griffin. That is why I cannot immediately decide to board the Elmo and follow you. But of course, I would like all dolls who join the Elmo to do so of their own free will. However, this commission has allowed me to get the measure of your character, and since my friends in Monsoon Squad trust you completely, I think I can try to trust you too, Commander. In the past, I chose to travel with Monsoon Squad. Now, I think I can choose a future of traveling with the Elmo. Surely a journey with you should be a pretty good one, am I wrong? And with that, Jiao Wei watches me quietly. Well, in terms of doing good and stopping evil, it ought to be pretty good. Upon hearing my answer, Jiao Wei smiles that barely visible smile again. Then from now on, the tactical doll Jiao Wei shall join the Elmo. Here's to jolly cooperation, Commander. It is late at night, and the bustling crowds have receded. The actors have cleared away their costumes and props and are now taking a break, leaving the campsite silent at last. Just as I'm about to return to my tent, I hear a familiar and gentle voice from behind me. Commander, do you have a moment? Diane, what are you doing here? Something the matter? I came to return you this. Diane smiles as she approaches me. Then she extends a hand to me, revealing the intricate pendant in her palm. The thunderbolt-shaped symbol on the pendant gleams in the night. Ah, that's... My thoughts return to a time several years ago. It was before I was officially reunited with Diane. A certain request had led to the Elmo traveling near the green zone. There, I received Diane's signal, a blue ribbon brought back by Rosa after she returned from a mission in a satellite city. Without news, without a message, we were separated by just a purification zone. These were the limitations imposed by the agreement, and also a sign of Diane's care and concern. At Rosa's suggestion, I had her pass Diane the pendant. This was the keepsake that you had Miss Rosa give me. I still remember the words she told me that day. Bathed in lightning and rain, waiting silently amidst the storm, the blue-white flash shall one day be seen. That is the origin of the name Elmo, and also the promise you made with me, is it not, Commander? I carried this pendant with me during our time apart. It got me through the countless lonely days when my thoughts were of you and gave me the strength to keep moving forward. Thanks to its existence, I always believed that one day I would be reunited with you, Commander. You're right. The rain and the storm have passed. Welcome back to the Elmo, Diane. Aw. I look toward Diane, and just as I'm about to retrieve the pendant, she suddenly pulls her hand back. She holds it in her palm, looking tenderly upon it, as though she was caressing it with her gaze. ... Commander, the truth is, I have a request to make of you. Though we are now reunited, I have always etched the meaning of this pendant onto my heart. If I might, could I continue to hold on to it? I will always cherish the spirit in which it was given. Still holding the pendant, Diane gazes into my eyes, her face flushing a faint pink. Of course. Shortly afterwards, in Elmo, several dolls who have traveled from afar are now gathered at the foot of the massive vehicle. The twin-tailed girl tugs on the hand of the blue cloth girl, hopping around excitedly in front of the Elmo. I'm so happy, Bit Sis. We've returned to the Elmo again. Oh yes, I didn't expect we'd be able to come back. And now, our dear leader, Jiao Wei, has returned with us. Yep, Monsoon's back together again. Is this really alright? The agreement... Relax. The commander said that our friend in the Non-Military Forces Administration, namely Miss Kalina, will help us take care of it. We won't have to worry about the paperwork. So let's enjoy our reunion with the commander. Wow, is that the commander coming out? I'm feeling so nervous all of a sudden. Well, that's unusual. To think the day would come when Monsoon's best drummer is blushing. Ooh-wah, Xiao Wei, you're still making fun of me at a time like this? I was simply trying to add to the mood, and an opportunity presented itself. But I guess it worked pretty well, no? With a wow, Jianyu runs to the Elmo, and Diane follows in resignation. Faye strides into the Elmo too. Xiao Wei walks at the back of the group at a leisurely pace. What does the future hold for Monsoon Squad? Xiao Wei looks up at the person on the Elmo who's waiting for them. Perhaps he will give her the answer. Wow. That was good. I like that. I know the next two characters, I believe, are Springfield and Faye that are coming, and I think Faye is gonna be given, is gonna be free. All you have to do is do her event. So I'm not gonna have to like spin for her or whatever the term it is for rolling. Rolling, I guess is the term. I don't know, but yeah, Springfield is probably next. Faye will probably have her little event that'll give like backstory to her, I guess. I don't know. I forgot which character they did that for too. They did something similar where all you had to do was play the event and you unlock the character. I don't remember. Wow, this music is loud. I don't remember which character that was that you just had to play and you unlock them. Oh, it was Papasha maybe? I don't remember, but it was someone. But yeah, I like that. It was nice. I was kind of confused when Diane, when we had a moment with Diane, but then when we talked about the pendant, I kind of understood, like, okay, it's supposed to be like a closure type of thing, because I don't really remember the pendant in her event story, but I'm glad they had some closure with that, even though I don't really remember much about it. But yeah, I like Zhao Wei. Interesting character. But yeah, if you made it this far, oh man, this is probably gonna be like another 4-hour video, but I just wanted to be clear. The reason why I stream or record the events, it's purely mainly for archiving purposes. I don't know why. I want to archive these events for who knows, maybe someone missed the event and they want to know everything about it, the entire story, and maybe they'll find my video and they'll watch it all the way through. I don't know. It's just something I want to do. I don't have to do it. It's just something I want to do. Oh yeah, and if you also made it this far into the video, drop a comment down below letting me know that you did make it this far. I really appreciate it if you did. But yeah, can't wait for the next event. It's going to be Springfield and Faye. I assume Faye's event is going to be shorter than Springfield's. Alright, it's the end. Drop a like. Again, leave a comment if you made it this far. And subscribe if you want to. And I will see you whenever. Bye-bye.